Somewhere along the way, we were told healing should be fast, that if you're still hurting, you're doing it wrong. That progress must be visible, measurable, constant. But the truth is, healing rarely moves in straight lines. It loops, stumbles, pauses. It doubles back when we least expect. There is no finish line, no checklist to complete, no timeline to meet. And yet we pressure ourselves to hurry up, to feel better already, to prove we've moved on. But pain doesn't respond to deadlines, and neither does growth. Some days you'll feel strong, other days, like you're back at the beginning. Both are part of the path. Both deserve grace. You are not falling behind. You're just living through it. Healing asks us to slow down, to sit with what aches, to feel what we once buried. Not to fix it overnight, not to solve it like a puzzle, but to understand it gently, like you would a frightened child. You don't shout at a child to stop crying. You hold them. You listen. You stay. That's how we must hold ourselves. With patience, with stillness, with care. The world wants results, but your soul wants presence. There is no award for rushing your way through grief. No badge for pretending you're okay. It's just deeper disconnection and a widening ache. Healing is not performance. It's quiet repair. Invisible to the outside, but profound, sacred, slow. The deeper the wound, the gentler the care it needs. Rushing is a form of avoidance, a way to skip discomfort. But healing requires that we feel, even when it hurts, especially when it hurts. You can't outthink your pain. You can't outwork it. You can only meet it. Sit with it. Learn from it. Let it move through you, not around you. This is not weakness. This is courage, the kind that doesn't shout but whispers. I'm still here. Healing is not becoming someone new. It's unlearning who you were told to be and remembering who you've always been. Underneath the survival, beneath the perfectionism, behind the smiles, there is a self waiting, quietly, not in a rush, but ready. So slow down. Not because you're failing, but because you're healing. And healing takes time. Time to rebuild trust. Time to feel safe. Time to let go of old patterns. There is no hack for that. Only presence. Only patience. The kind that says, I don't need to be fixed today. I just need to be held and witnessed and believed. This is not a detour. This is the path, through shame, through grief, through silence, to something softer, something truer. And you're already on your way. No faster than needed. No slower than right. Just in time. Somewhere along the way, we started treating healing like a race, like something to conquer quickly, something to complete and check off the list, as if pain obeys deadlines, as if grief can be micromanaged. But healing doesn't follow a schedule. It unfolds in spirals, not straight lines. Some days you leap forward, other days you feel like you're back at the beginning. That's not failure. That's the rhythm of recovery. There is no rush. There is only return. Return to breath. Return to softness. Return to the you that never stopped deserving love. The world sells us solutions, instant peace. 5 steps to joy, quick fix serenity. But peace isn't a product. Joy isn't a formula. Healing isn't an algorithm you can optimize. It's a sacred unraveling, patient becoming. It cannot be rushed, only witnessed. Your wounds need witnessing, not efficiency. They need presence, not pressure. Some days you'll feel lighter, others heavier. But that's part of the process. A tide coming in and out. Your pain is not permanent, but your gentleness must be, because real growth is not loud. It doesn't announce itself. It whispers in tiny acts, like getting out of bed. Drinking water, choosing rest, saying no, saying yes, letting go of who you think you should be, embracing who you are. Some days you'll want to rush, to be anywhere but here. It's okay. You're not doing it wrong. You're not falling behind. You're learning how to be with yourself, even when it hurts. especially when it hurts. That's the work, not escaping pain, but learning how to hold it gently, to breathe through it, to not shame yourself for it. You were never meant to heal perfectly. You were meant to heal honestly, and honesty takes time. Time to unlearn the myths. Time to meet the parts of you that were silenced. Time to hold your own hand when no one else can. This is not about speed. It's about staying. Staying with your truth. Staying with your breath. Staying with your humanity. Even when the world tells you to move on. Even when your inner critic screams, "You should be over this by now." You shouldn't. You aren't late. You aren't weak. You're healing. You're in your own way. At your own pace. That is brave. That is enough. Your worth is not in your pace, or in how well you hide your pain. It's in your willingness to feel, to stay soft in a hard world, to believe in slow, quiet growth. You don't owe anyone a timeline, or an explanation, or a performance of progress. You only owe yourself care, patience, and the grace to move forward when you're ready, not before, not for anyone else. Healing is not about being impressive. It's about being whole. And wholeness comes with time and tenderness. So rest if you need to. Cry if you must. Begin again as often as it takes. You are not late, but you are on time. Your time. Maybe you learned early that emotions needed to be hidden, that tears made you weak, that struggle was shameful. So you became good at pretending, good at performing okay. But inside you're tired. Not just tired, weary. From holding yourself together all the time. From walking through life without space to fall apart. And when you finally slow down, it all catches up. That ache, that sadness, that sense of being behind. It pours in like a wave. You wonder if you failed, if you're broken beyond repair. But this is not brokenness. This is backlog. Emotional traffic. Grief that never had room to speak. Pain that's waited years to be heard. Of course it feels heavy. Of course it's overwhelming. You're carrying more than one lifetime. Still you show up. Still you breathe through it. Still you reach for light. It's not failure. That's resilience. Quiet, powerful resilience. Not the kind that wins awards. It's the kind that keeps you alive. It's the kind that gets you through mornings when your chest feels tight and your thoughts feel loud. Healing asks us to slow down. But slowing down feels unsafe when speed was your survival. When doing was your armor, when staying busy kept the sadness from creeping in. So rest feels terrifying, stillness feels wrong. And yet, this is where healing begins. In the stillness, in the pause between breaths, in the silence where truth lives. It's okay if you don't know how to rest yet. It's okay if you fear what you'll feel when you stop moving. But fear makes sense. But rest is not the enemy. Slowness is not failure. It's a return to the self you've abandoned, to the feelings you've buried, to the softness that still lives inside you. Healing doesn't erase pain. It teaches you how to hold it, with grace, with honesty, with arms that no longer push it away. And each time you choose to stay with what hurts, even just for a moment, something shifts. You reclaim a piece of yourself. You gather the scattered fragments. You come home. And coming home is not a one-time thing. It's a daily practice of slowness, of courage, soft, steady return. Some days you'll sprint. Some days you'll crawl. Some days you'll just breathe. That is enough. That is healing. There is no fixed map, no perfect path. It's just your own unfolding. It's just your own pace. And even if you feel lost, even if the way forward disappears, you are still on the path. The path is not out there. The path is you, your breath, your honesty, your willingness to feel. That is how you heal. Not quickly, not cleanly, but deeply in the realest way. You don't need to rush, just need to stay, to listen, to be with what is, without fixing, without running, just presence. Just being, that's enough. You're enough. Exactly where you are, exactly how you are. This is not the end. This is a beginning. Again. Somewhere along the way, we learn to measure healing by progress, by steps forward, by visible improvement. But real healing is often invisible, quiet, uncelebrated. It happens in the spaces no one sees, in the moments you choose not to give up, in the nights you cry without knowing why, The mornings you get out of bed anyway. You are not failing because you still feel pain. You are not behind because some wounds remain tender. Healing is not a straight line. It is a spiral. You return to the same feelings, but you meet them with new strength, with softer eyes, with deeper understanding. You think you've gone backward, but really, you're circling closer to truth. Each round, a layer is shed. Each revisit, a chance to hold yourself with more compassion. This is not stagnation. This is depth. This is how we grow. Inward. Slowly. Deliberately. We live in a world that worships speed, that praises quick turnarounds and instant fixes. But the soul doesn't work like that. It doesn't heal on command. It doesn't bloom on a deadline. It unfolds in its own time. It's like the seasons, like the tide, like breath. You are allowed to take your time. You are allowed to pause, to not know, to rest in the middle. Your healing doesn't need to impress anyone. It just needs to be real, and real is messy. Real is not Instagrammable. Real is showing up when your hands are shaking. Real is asking for help when your voice trembles. Real is being honest that some days hurt more than others, and choosing to stay anyway. That is strength. That is movement, even if it looks like stillness. There's no gold star for rushing through your pain. No trophy for being the fastest to get over it. There is only your truth. And your truth deserves space. It deserves air. It deserves time to breathe. So let your healing breathe. Let it move like water. Let it be what it is, not what you think it should be. The pressure to hurry is not yours to carry. You are not a machine. You are a living, feeling, healing being. Made of softness and stories, made of resilience that whispers, not shouts. The myth of quick healing is just that, a myth. It sells you the idea that you're broken if you're still hurting. But hurting is part of healing. Just as night is part of the day, just as winter is part of spring, you are in process. And process is sacred, even when it's silent, even when it's slow, especially then. You do not owe the world your recovery timeline. You do not have to explain your pain. You only need to honor it, to listen, to befriend the parts of you that still ache, that still fear, that still long to be held. You don't need to fix them. You just need to stay with them, with gentleness, with patience. That is healing. That is enough. And every time you return to yourself, softly, you rewrite the story that healing must be hard, fast, or perfect. You prove that healing can be kind, that it can be slow, that it can be yours, exactly as it is. This moment right now is part of it.
Ow.
Even if it's quiet, even if it's unsure. This is healing. You're healing. Healing asks us to be present with what hurts, not to fix it instantly, but to sit beside it, to witness it without turning away. And that kind of presence takes courage, because most of us were taught to escape pain, to silence it, to hide it behind productivity, to outwork the ache. But pain that's ignored doesn't disappear, just hides deeper. It waits in the quiet until we're ready to feel it. And when we do, it can flood in all at once, like a dam breaking, like tears that had no words until now. You might wonder why you're suddenly overwhelmed, why the grief feels too big. It's not because you're weak, it's because you're finally safe enough to feel. Healing waits for safety, not speed. And safety grows slowly. From repetition. From gentleness. From showing yourself that you won't abandon your pain again. That you won't rush past your truth. That you will stay, even when it's hard, even when it's slow, even when it makes no sense to anyone else. The world might tell you to move on, to bounce back, to smile through it. But healing doesn't obey those scripts. It's not a performance. It's not a checklist. It's a relationship with your own soul. One built on trust, and trust takes time. Time to unlearn the ways you abandon yourself. Time to relearn softness. To learn that pain isn't a flaw, it's a message. And listening to that message is healing in itself. You don't have to solve everything right now. You don't have to be fully healed to be whole. Your wholeness was never lost. Only buried. Under pressure, under stories that told you you had to earn love or prove your worth through suffering, but you don't. You never did. You are already enough, even in your confusion, even in your pauses, even in your quietest days. Growth is not just upward, it is also inward. It is returning to your own breath, returning to the body you once escaped. and saying, I'm here now. I won't rush you. I won't shame you. I'll walk with you at your pace. And if that pace is slow, that's okay. Hey, there is no prize for speeding through. There is only the gift of being real. And real takes time. So let yourself be real. Let the layers unfold gently. Let the healing be incomplete and still sacred. You're not late, you're not broken, you're just human. And being human is tender work, messy work, brave work, not because you conquer pain, but because you dare to feel it. And feeling is what frees you, not fixing, not perfecting, just feeling, fully, softly, without a stopwatch, without an end date. Let this be your permission slip to slow down, to rest inside the not knowing, to trust that this moment right here is a step, even if it doesn't look like one. You don't need milestones to prove your growth, you just need honesty and a little light, and the gentle belief that you are on your way.
Exactly as you are.
Maybe no one told you this. Healing doesn't follow a schedule. It doesn't check boxes or meet deadlines. It unfolds in whispers, not declarations, and sometimes in complete silence. There will be days when nothing seems to change, days when the ache returns like it never left. That doesn't mean you've gone backwards. It means healing is visiting old places with new eyes. It's not a straight line. It loops. It spirals. It deepens. And each time, you understand a little more about yourself, about your needs, about the parts of you still waiting to be held. We live in a world that rushes everything. Quick fixes, instant results. But your soul is not a task to complete. It is a garden to tend. And gardens don't bloom because we demand them to. They bloom in their own season, under care, not pressure. It's rest, not resistance, and light. Always, always light. You don't need to accelerate your growth. You need to nurture it, even if that looks like stillness. Even if that means doing less, or letting go, or unlearning what once kept you alive, but now keeps you stuck. Healing asks us to soften, to become gentle with the parts we once judged, the fear, the fatigue, the moments when we don't know what we're doing. All of it belongs. All of it is worthy of kindness, especially from you. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to prove progress. You're allowed to be a work in progress and still worthy of love. You're allowed to be tired and still deserving of care. You don't have to be productive to matter. Just have to be. That is enough. The healing that lasts is not loud. It's quiet. It's found in long walks, in deep breaths, in choosing not to abandon yourself again. So if you are tired of rushing, if you are tired of pretending, let yourself rest. Let yourself be real. Let yourself be slow. Because real healing is the kind that touches the soul. Cannot be rushed. It cannot be optimized. Cannot be forced into a timeline. It asks for trust. Trust in the process. Trust in your own unfolding. Trust that what looks like a pause is actually an integration. That what looks like stillness is quietly sacred. You are not behind. You are not broken. You are not failing. You are growing. Even if no one sees it yet. Even if you don't fully believe it yet, healing is happening right here, in this breath, in your willingness to stay. To be gentle, to choose slowness in a world that tells you to rush. That is strength, that is courage, that is love. So keep going, at your own rhythm, on your own terms. You don't have to keep up. You just have to keep choosing yourself, again and again. Even when it feels messy, even when it's unclear, you are choosing, you are healing, slowly, quietly, truly. And that is more than enough. Let this be your reminder that healing is not a race. It is a return to yourself as you are right now. This is quiet philosophy, where thinking isn't loud, and life doesn't need to be either. Subscribe if you haven't already, not for noise, but for something you can actually feel.